But I'm delighted to announce that tonight we have in our midst not one West End star, not 3 West End stars, but 2 West End stars. And to that end, I'm delighted to introduce our very special guest, who is going to do something fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. An actress whose career spans stage and screen. She's worked with everybody from Walkham and Wise to Toby Curtis. And I'm delighted to announce that she is going to do an exclusive performance now, especially for Phoebe's Bat Mitzvah. Best known on screen as the star of Carry On Screaming, please give a warm welcome to the one, the only, the legendary Miss Fenella Fielding!
A simple story. One day, Millie Fairbrother was going for a walk with her nurse, Gladys Conk, when they met a robber in a wood. The robber said, "Give me some money." And Gladys Conk said, "How much money?" He said, "1 shilling." She said, "I haven't got 1 shilling." He said, "Yes, you have." She said, "Well, at any rate, I shan't give it to you." He said, "If you don't, I shall kill you." Now, Millie was frightened at that. But Gladys Conk was not frightened. She said, "You can't do that." And he said, "Why not?" She said, "Because I shall kill you first." The robber laughed at that and said, "Oh, you will you?" She said, "Yes, I will I?" The robber laughed again and said, "That's good. What with?" And she said, "With my umbrella." Now, Millie's mother had given Gladys Conk a new umbrella for a Christmas present. It had a duck's head on the handle, made of imitation silver, and she always took it for walks with her. And it was a good thing she did, because of the robber. The robber's face assumed a ghastly hue. And he said, "I never thought of that." And Gladys Conk said, "Well, you can think of it now." So Gladys Conk killed the robber, and he had a lovely funeral with arum lilies, and Millie was allowed to go to it. Well, the next day a policeman came to the back door and asked for Gladys Conk. The cook opened the door because she was just going out to get a chicken to make some chicken broth for Millie. Millie was in bed with a sore throat that morning, but she was better the next day and got up. Her friend, Jean Hale, came to tea with her, and they played with the animals in her Noah's Ark. So, the cook said, "Do come in and sit down," and he came in and sat down. And she gave him some beefsteak and kidney pie, which she had made for lunch upstairs. But she said they could have some cold meat. Don't do them any harm. So she gave him some stuffed, which she had paid for out of her wages. And when he had eaten half the pie and drunk all the stuff, he said, "Where is Gladys Conk?" The cook said, "What do you want with Gladys Conk?" And he said, "Ah, you may well ask." The cook said, "She is busy ironing. Doesn't want to have anything to do with policemen. She is too young." And he said, "She is not too young for me. And the judge wants to see her about having a trial." She said, "What for?" And he said, "For killing the robber." The cook said, "Oh." And he said, "Ah, you may well say oh." So she said, "Well, I'll go and fetch her." So they had a trial, and the judge was a very kind man. But he liked Gladys Conk. Because he'd had a little girl of his own called Gladys, and she had grown up now, and she had a little girl called Gladys Mary. judge had sent her a book of poetry for her birthday, and she had learnt 3 pieces in it. And 2 of her aunts had given her 2 fountain pens, one for black ink and one for red. And one of the mistresses of the school she went to had borrowed the one for red ink to correct exercises with. So the judge said to Gladys Conk, "Don't be frightened." And she said, "No, I won't." And he said, "That's right. Why did you kill the robber?" And she said, "Well, wouldn't you?" And he said, "Yes, I would." So the judge gave Gladys Conk a watch, which he paid for out of his own money. And afterwards, she married the policeman and had several wedding presents. She loved him rather, but he was aggravating. And the cook said, of course, everybody could please themselves, but she wouldn't have married him herself, not if he'd been the only man in the world. They had 6 children, 5 girls, and 1 little policeman. And when Millie went to tea with her, she had brown bread and butter with apricot jam and macaroons, and was allowed to bath the baby.
And her elocution lessons up here in Birmingham now, Eugene tells me. Fenella, thank you very much. We were very privileged to have that performance.